was just wondering if you're seeing any sort of trends or from the advertiser's perspective in regards to marketing to a mass audience as opposed to like a niche vertical audience that's more brand specific to that market, so you get more brand loyalty. Is there any sort of trends that you're seeing of the advertisers saying, okay, well, that's worth something to us, as opposed to just a massive volume, that targeted market?
I'm definitely seeing a trend where there is a much higher level of micro-targeting starting to take place. That is a very slow trend happening because a lot of the systems that have been put in place were put in place for, we're launching a campaign online, we're going to create 5 different leaderboards, 5 skyscrapers, 5 big box, and we're going to be really revolutionary this campaign, and we're going to create a video pre-roll unit, first time ever. It's vastly different to be able to do it at a micro level and have conversations, have 20 different types of creative against 20 different audiences, and to be able to track and really evaluate results. Because I think that a lot of advertisers have made a lot of assumptions about who their target market is based on these 3 categories, when there in reality could be 15 or 20 different targets. And until they really focus on testing specific messages against specific verticals or against specific audiences, it's really challenging to really understand exactly how many there are outside of the traditional field research that's been done. Where we're seeing things going to now is really about creative optimization in real time. So if you're running a campaign, if you're running multiple messages against multiple different segments, and you're consistently optimizing, changing that messages based on what is working against 18-year-old males, 18-year-old females, this vertical, that vertical, and you're really looking at it as when the campaign is launched and the creative has been done, traditionally that's the end of the process until the campaign is over. When we're thinking and we're seeing our clients go to is that's just the beginning of the process. That's when the work starts. Now we're going to change it every single day or every single week until the campaign is over, and then we're going to keep going into the next campaign and evolve over based on all the learning and all the metrics and all the data that we've got supported from that original campaign.
So I think we've got time for one more question. Oh, over there.
So I just was wondering if you talked about the client who's not ideal, who you have to convince to your point of view. Can you walk us through what an engagement with one of your ideal clients looks like and what kind of conversations you're having with them? Sure.
We try to avoid the unideal ones because it causes us just too much of a problem. It's really stressful. With an ideal client, it generally starts off with them identifying a problem and us finding a solution to the problem. We don't generally go in with anything too set in stone saying, this is what you need to be doing. The first meeting, this is social media, or this is the internet. I've had those conversations in the first meeting. It's like, very exciting. Okay, guys, today we're going to talk to you about something no one's talked to you before. It's called the internet. We generally need to identify what their problem is, and we don't necessarily jump to the assumption that this is a communication problem. And I think a lot of whether it be communication agencies will typically say, we've got a communication problem we've got to solve. And we'll come in and say, what problem do you need to have solved? And is it actually a communication problem? Or is it really a utility problem? Or is it a customer support problem? Or is it a PR problem? And really identify what that problem is. And until we have identified with that potential prospect, great client, what their problem is, then we can come back with a solution that's actually going to help them, whether or not it's a communication problem or an internet utility problem or a PR problem. So our process is typically in that first meeting, identifying what the issue is, and then figuring out exactly how we're going to be able to come back and address that issue, whether it be through one of our technologies or through a number of other partner technologies, including some that I've heard today that I'm pretty excited to say. I think we've got a lot of people who are going to be very interested in what you guys are talking about. I don't know if that answered your question at all, but.
Okay, and with that, Michael, I'd like to thank you very much for your insights on this very complex and confused world.
Thanks very much.